Hey everyone, Michael Curtis from Goodman Games here in our third of three videos talking about OAR number 10, the City State of the Invincible Overlord. The box set, which is going to be crowdfunding before you know it on BackerKit, and contains a bevy of gaming goodness for either DCC or 5e. This section, I'm going to be talking about what's near and dear to all fantasy adventurers, and that is dungeon crawling. We've talked about the city, we've talked about the wilderness section, and now it is time to talk about what you can find beneath your feet in the city-state and the environs of thereabouts. So, first of all, the city-state box comes with, as I mentioned previously, Thunderhold. Thunderhold is a dwarven city, and it is actually located immediately adjacent to two large dungeon complexes. One is known as the Sunstone Caverns, which is probably about 100 keyed encounters there in and of itself. Some of that was detailed in the original material, but we've kind of fleshed it out a little bit, brought it up to modern game design standards, comes what you would expect. And so you can check out Thunderhold, hang out with the dwarves, and see what's going on in Sunstone Caverns, because there's no lack of adventure or treasure to be dragged out of those same name caverns. If Sunstone Caverns doesn't seem to strike your fancy, there is also the Thunderhold dungeon. Thunderhold Dungeon is a four-level dungeon, which was originally just released as four blank dungeon maps. They had, they mapped out the dungeon, but there was no details about it. So we went through and we have stocked all of Thunderhold available to be run right out of the box. Is probably about easily 26, 28 levels in that. And so we're talking, there's another 100 right then and there, another 100 keyed encounters for your adventuring pleasure. So you can go out and see what's going under Thunderhold. There's a lot of weirdness down there. And I'm seeing if you go deep enough, you may even leave this world behind, if you know what I mean. And I don't think you do. So Thunderhold Dungeon, plenty of opportunities there. But of course, the focus of this is the city-state of the Invincible Overlord. As I mentioned in the first video, there is a 5-level dungeon underneath the kind of the bad quarter of town, which we just simply call it the city-state dungeon. It, like the Thunderhold dungeon, it was originally published as 5 dungeon maps. They're completely unkeyed. You kind of know where they are within the city, but it was left up to the judge, for the game master to fill in. And we have saved you the trouble by filling all of those out. You can, if you don't want to leave the city, still plenty of opportunities to delve under the city streets, and deal with all sorts of interesting NPCs and monsters. Some friendly, some not so. You never know what's happening and what schemes might be going up deep underneath the Overlord's feet. And maybe even the Overlord is not quite so invincible. He doesn't know what's going on, because we are also including in the box set the supplement, which was originally released as Wraith Overlord, which was released some years after the city-state one, and it kind of further expands on dungeon adventuring in the city-state. It details about a dozen smaller dungeons, but multi-level things. Basically like the levels underneath some of the, like the city jail is the levels in the city jail are fleshed out in case your characters end up in trouble, which more likely they will. So at least the game master has some material to use if they want to run a breakout. There's a set of ruins called the Despot Ruins just outside of town, which are occupied by the goblins. You can go out there. You can do some dungeon crawling, or maybe you'll make new friends, or maybe you'll make new enemies. Interesting to go. There's an old watchtower that overlooks the city, which has been abandoned by a noble family who were kind of, almost Lovecraftian, to the point they dabbled in things perhaps they shouldn't. Perfect thing to go check out. And of course, even bigger things, which I'm going to leave for you to discover on yourself. But we also detail kind of the sewer system underneath it. You always need to have a good sewer map, especially if you're running like a criminal themed adventure. You need to know how you can get where, and how do you go to what. But the Wraith Overlord supplement also introduced the Wraith Overlord, who is a rising menace, let us say, who has recently returned to power, recently returned to this mortal plane, and is slowly undermining the Invincible Overlord, both literally and figuratively, and poses a threat not only to the Overlord's power, but perhaps to the residents of the city-state itself. So that is the Wraith Overlord is no pushover. It's probably for your higher level characters, but it introduces an interesting adversary aside from the many which are already inside the city-state. So there is no shortage of adventuring activity. If you just want to do dungeon crawls, you are more than happy to it. We have new monsters, new magic, of course. course, all the stuff that you're used to expect with a Goodman Games adventure, all based on the original work of Bob Bledsaw and Bill Owen. And we are very happy to be able to release this amazing box set. And I certainly hope that you come along with us for the ride. Please, of course, like, subscribe, and do all necessary for this video. And of course, go over to the Backer Kit page and sign up there to be notified when the campaign goes live in less time than you would expect. So thank you very much. I hope that has covered a lot of the ground and has gotten you excited for OAR number 10, City State of the Invincible Overlord. We've been working on it for a while. I have personally been putting a lot of time into this, bringing this into the modern age, and very proud of what we have done with this. So thank you for watching the video, and we look forward to your support when the campaign goes live. Now, until then, I will see you in the City State of the Overlord. Bye-bye.